2020's been tough for No Love. As far as like injury-wise, I think you have the knockout of the year. People can say, oh, Joaquin Buckley. Nope, because you got to look at who you did against. To knock out Rafael Sanzao like you did, back on the cage, you goosh, no look, walk-off KO, Mark Hunt style, knockout of the year, son.
Literally back against the wall, figuratively.
Nuts.
You know, in my fight career.
I was so nervous for you because I had a 3-fight skid in that next fight, you know, and I don't know how your management dealt with it, but mine was like, all right, talk to Joe Silva. They're giving you LeVar Johnson, who's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, if you lose this one, you're probably getting cut, and you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So you go into camp just like, you know, like making sure you want
straight,
everything perfect. You're so stressed out. So for you, 3-fight losing skid. They give you a Sanzao, which when I saw that fight, I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Like, take care of him, man.
Yeah.
You're a big name.
I think for me, like, I asked for that fight for Ali. He's like, he gave me a couple other ones. I think they were top 15, but for me, like, those get me up more. Like, it's a name. It's like the risk reward kind of thing. Like, I feel like that even like in training. Like, if I spar a good person, I kind of rise their level. If it's a little bit low, I'm like, oh, I got hit with some stupid shit. Why?
You fight
I fight that level.
level.
So I think I've always have. But yeah, like I said, you get in fight camp, and I'm like, hey, a 3-fight skid. You're like fucking backs against the wall. You know, I'm becoming a world champion. The 3-fight skid. Like, I would not ever imagine that.
Mind blowing.
Mind blowing. Honestly, I thought I was living in this like make-believe world. Like, honestly, like maybe it was just my ego like allowing me to believe that it wasn't real, like we talked about earlier. And going into fight camp, you want everything perfect. So I was like, fuck this, I gotta switch something up. I was insane. I was mentally insane.
You were living in Vegas, training in NorCal?
I was living in Sacramento and training in Sac. So that's where I was
Team
at.
Alpha
Team
Male.
Alpha Male. Love the guys, great dudes, but
yeah, we all love them.
You know, talk to them like, man, like I just got out of my comfort zone. That's why I went to cold ass New Jersey. Dude, freezing cold.
Awful.
Horrible. Like,
best coach in the world, though.
Best coach in the world, Coach
I think
Henry.
he's the best coach in the world, Mark Henry.
I think for sure I've been a lot of coaches, you know, just his insight.
How'd you hear about
him?
Did you know him previously?
You know, we talked, it was before, I think I was like 2 or 3 in the UFC, and we ran into each other in in Vegas. And he's not a guy that gives out compliments. And I remember him telling me, like, dude, you're going to be a world champion. And I was like, all right.
Yeah,
cool. Like, I got Frankie, he's done so many people he's trained with, you know, from ground up, basically. And I was like, wow, that's a high praise. Like, I appreciate that. So we've always kept cool throughout the years, you know, on social media and stuff, and at fight camps or fight weeks. And Ali, obviously, you know, he manages Frankie.
Oh, that's right.
Frankie is the second guy he's ever managed
Frankie,
behind Henzo.
Moraes, yeah.
Yep, all those guys. And it was just, Ali was like, look, you need to go, and I think Mark will help you out a lot on what you need to develop on. Like, I'm fast, I have good vision in there, you know, like defense.
Yeah.
Defense is huge, or game plan, you know, game plan is huge. And just get away, get out of my comfort zone. Like, dude, getting out to Jersey, getting out of your own bed, your own, like, comfort zone, like we were talking about earlier, you're away from your child. Like, the first time I was away was on I had a book, when my book came released, I had New York and LA, I went on for a week. And I was like, man, I was like, miss them so much. So going out there and just like put myself through that ringer, new training partners, guys that are like trying to test themselves with you.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, it better be worth it.
Dude, it has to be. Like, and I was at that point in my career, like, dude, like, are you gonna just sit there and keep going half-heartedly into this? Because I kind of lost the passion for fighting.
Did you?
I felt like I was going through the motions there.
And when did you realize that? Is that in the TJ kind of saga?
Honestly, after I won the world championship.
Interesting. You're the second world champion I've heard say that.
I think I was so fixated and driven on being a world champion.
And then you get there.
And I got there.
And you're at the top, and you're like,
and it wasn't,
this is it?
It honestly, everybody, like a lot of people around me kind of changed. I was like, wow, this is awesome. How is it?
You feel exactly the same.
And I was like, damn, like, it wasn't what I thought it would be.
Yeah, I remember when I was training with Rashad a lot when he won the world title, and I remember he came back the following week to help me get ready for my fight, and he's sitting down, and I go, dude, world champion, man, this is nuts. Like, you got to where we're all trying to get, man. I was like, how's it feel? And he looks at me and he goes, Brandon, I'm going to tell you something, man, and listen up. He goes, I feel exactly the same. It brings no more happiness.
Right.
He goes, nothing has changed for me.
Yeah.
He goes, I might make a little more in my next fight. That's whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, He goes, if you think getting this belt is happiness for you, you're fighting the wrong fight.
Exactly.
And I was like, God, he's negative.
For sure, I think a lot of stuff comes with being a world champion. You know, like
heavy lies the crown, my man.
Exactly, and that's true. But like for me, I always got into fighting to be the best.
Yes.
Like it's a poor man's sport. You know, it was a decade of visualizing being a world champion, finally get there, I'm like, wow, I made $200,000 being a world champion. This is sweet, you know, like a poor kid coming, you know, from Ohio, a little poverty city, like this is awesome. I made it, you know, like here it comes in, and obviously I tore my knee in the fight, and then right after that, I was on the Ultimate Fighter, trained with all those bigger guys, ended up tearing my back.
You've had some injuries.
So yeah, I was like, I never got to, and I think this is why I lost the passion or wasn't as hungry as I should have been being a world champion. So I didn't get to set my goals. I visualized on that goal for a decade.
It's like, what now?
I'll be world champion. First time I saw a fight, world champion. Like, what am I going to do now? I didn't have that time to where I'm going to fixate on, all right, these are my next goals. These are my next fights. These are my next visualizations. It was getting healthy. I was in rehab for 11 months, and they're like, hey, you're fighting TJ. They try to get me to fight TJ on a stem cell shot in my back, and have a 4.5 week camp to fight TJ. I'm like, bro,
insane.
Insane.
He's a monster.
No way. Yeah,
I know you guys have your beef, but let's be real. TJ's a talented fucking
very talented,
dude.
and he works super hard. You know what I mean?
Might be the hardest worker we know. Him.
Definitely.
There's a few guys where, you know, if I had to put stock in their work ethic, him, there's a few guys.
Yeah, and he's a student of the game, so he's studying. He's going, you know, he's going all over to get the best work. And
correct.
You know, for him. So yeah, I'm like, I think that's a reason why I kind of lost a lot of love and passion for it, because I didn't get to visualize what my next steps were.
I think it's good guys hear that too, because it happens in other sports. Like if you see what's going on with Kyrie Irving, how he's missing, you know, whatever, 2 weeks, missed like 8 games, he got fined out of the gazoo, but you know, he's like, I need a break, man. Like it's not that I don't love basketball, and obviously people just see me with money. Like, why isn't he happy? He's playing basketball. He's like, man, I just, you know, the passion. Sometimes I got to find it elsewhere. I got to work on myself.
It's true. I think a lot of times that we're surrounded by, you know, Team Alpha Male is known as wrestling based. So wrestling's a grind. Anybody that knows anything about wrestling is a straight grind, and that's how we implement our training, is the grinding. But like we were talking about before the podcast, I'm not a tractor, you know.
No.
I'm Ferrari.
You're
you know,
Ferrari,
like you have to mold your own body to tailor to your fights, fight camps. And one person that was really frugal with that was Chad Mendez. Dude, he's like, I just fight the fun, like, so I can hunt and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you see Chad come out of, dude, wouldn't be in the gym for a few months and have a 5-6 week fight camp and just come in, just
destroy.
Dude, fucking people up.
Monster.
Like, dude, like, you want a hard round with Chad? Like, okay,
he's
you're gonna get a hard round with
monster.
Chad, no matter grappling, sparring, wrestling. Like, he just but he stayed in shape. He ate right. He, you know, worked out outside, but he wasn't pounding himself on the
wrecking his body
every day. And that's where I think I'm learning that. So it's just crazy, the walks of life that you come into with this martial arts, and I think anything, you know, at this high level, just like what makes you want to do this? Like what made you transpire? And talking about the hardships and the demons you battled, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting too. Like, you know, I've done a million of these food truck shows, and I've sat down with guys, and there's kind of like there's a common theme with like everyone. Everyone's like super humble. Everyone has those demons, but they've controlled those demons. Because you're not gonna be on the show if you're just some fucking idiot, you know.
Yeah, just doing the coke on the line.
Yeah,
Okay, like,
I can't have
Cody back.
Yeah, I can't have it, man. You know. So it's just like whoever's been on the show, or they're obviously successful in their field and in their division, whether it's fighting or boxing, MMA or boxing, they've navigated those demons and made them work for them. You know.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times, man, like. They come back, you know what I mean? I think you always battle your demons. You've been through a lot of hard shit, like, man, it's always gonna come back. Those demons of doubt are gonna just resonate. Like, you know, especially like we talked about earlier, like coming off losses and shit, like that's when people, you know, people outside of seeing like, oh, he's done, he's never gonna, even it starts to creep inside because we were filled with doubt, you know what I mean? As humans, we're filled with doubt. So that's why I think that you get back, like you said, to the camp, the training, making sure everything's focused right. And I think that if one thing is off in MMA or fighting, it's not like, all right, fuck, we got next week, you know, we got the Browns next week, or you know, that's our Super Bowl each time. Like we get in there, and that's
a loss is insanely detrimental. It really fucks things up.
It really does, man. And I feel like, you know, I'm honestly content and okay and kind of, you know, analyze a lot of the last few years, and I feel like if I would have just went out there and just blitzed through everybody at 25, 26 years old, world champion, undefeated, I wouldn't be where I'm at mentally.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because I had to go through some shit
to
get fucked, man.
Also,
that's embarrassing.
That's
embarrassing.
I think that's the biggest thing.
Internet's a horrible place to get knocked down on. You know?
Yeah, it's the worst. In your underwear, and it's also your underwear in a steel cage, millions of people watching.
Millions.
I think that's the biggest thing. It's embarrassing. You just feel like you let down your teammates and your family.
Man.
And then what else people don't realize is, you know, when you're on that 2-3 fight losing streak, it ain't fun at home. Like, you're not fun to be around.
Life's not
But you're
fun.
trying to be, life isn't fun.
Yeah.
And you think, when you go in a restaurant, you think everybody's talking about you. It's like, they're not. Trust me, they're not. But you think they are.
Yeah, it's just
And you're
like
trying to be a good dad, but
Yep.
just snapping on little
Snap,
shit.
yeah. Like,
Bitch, I said Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah.
No fries.
Yeah, it's weird.
Don't
man.
get chocolate milk tonight.
Yeah, it's strange.
You're going to bed. Yeah, it is strange.
So it's like navigating that world while you're on that losing skid is a
Yeah, and
beast.
obviously, you know, you being a father, I was a new father, like going into like the TJ fight. I think my son was 3 months old, so like, dude, for me, I didn't have a father growing up. You know, he was incarcerated, so I didn't want to miss anything. Like, oh shit, I gotta hurry up and rush to the gym. And I don't think that I was as focused because I have my, and not to make excuses or sound, you know, like I am. I didn't want to miss anything in his life, so like, all right,
God
fuck,
bless
I'm not
you.
gonna go to the PT. I'm gonna go train hard, and then like I felt like just
You
my
wanna rush
body.
home, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I got everything I needed out of it. Like with the
Yeah.
Cruz fight, dude, I was just everything. You're right, like we were doing 10 rounds of sparring, bro. It was tough, man. It was a hard camp.
That fight was insane.
It was the toughest camp that I did, but it was the most fun that I had because I'm like, dude, I'm fighting for a world title
Yep.
against arguably one of the best bantamweights to ever do it.
Correct.
Like, this is great. I have nothing to lose. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like I said, once I kind of got that title, it was like, I have something to lose now.